This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one, in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate.
As usual, good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day. Whatever time you're watching this, thank you for tapping in. This is Brian HRap B. Williams. This is the End of the Bench, a few minutes with HRap, where I hopefully uplift the community and enhance the lives of the people in my community and worldwide. Before I go, I want you to hit that like, hit that share, tap in, comment, leave a comment. Likes or dislikes, it doesn't make a difference. I appreciate both. It's about the conversation. It's not about my opinions. Now, what we're going to talk about today is something called Who's Fighting for You? Before I go forward, I almost slipped. I want to thank my parents, Dolores and John. Without Dolores and John, there will be no Brian. Without no Brian, there'd be no program. Back to the program. As I stated, who's fighting for you? We have a lot of things going on right now. You have people in fear. You have people in prayer. You have people running scared. They're doing 10,000 things all over the globe. And we are in a situation to whereas people are about to break. Now, what I want to know is who's fighting for you? We had a president in office who's trying to be a dictator and or king. Whatever way you want to design it, whatever way you want to shape it up, that's what he's trying to be. He's trying to be a king. You have a group of people who's saying, okay, let it happen because we don't have the information that we need to have. We're not going to argue and fight and fuss with people. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is organize as we've done throughout history. Black History Month is the perfect month to be doing this. I'm going to show you a video about Black history in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm going to show you why we need to organize, and we can organize, because if they can do it 100 years ago, how is it that we can't do it now? Second, and most importantly, your civic duties, not civil rights. Civil short for civilian rights. Civic meaning your duties as a citizen. Now, as a citizen of this community, you must, for one, be educated on how things work. When we were younger, we had this thing called Schoolhouse Rock, and it educated you somewhat on what you need to do. Second, and most importantly, we need to check history. Black History Month is here for a reason. This is the start off point for you to identify your history, embrace your history, study your history, and then use the lessons of history to enhance your future. As I say every day, we are no longer living for ourselves. If you are a middle-aged person, much like myself, you are no longer living for yourself. You are living for your great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. I'm going to continue to beat that into our heads. Everybody who support me, I'm going to continue to beat that into your head until we get it right. There are literally millions of us who have the same mission as me. So please leave those tropes of this is a pipe dream, this will never happen. Leave those opinions in your head and just walk away and not support. I'm being totally honest, because we have no room for negativity anymore. Back to the point at hand. Who's fighting for you? Over an 8-year period, it was a guy by the name of Barack Hussein Obama, president. You had the Mitch McConnells and most of the people in the House of Representatives and most of the people in the Senate fighting everything that he was doing. Everything he was doing. The United States of America has been fighting total health care, public health care, for at least 100 years, since Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the president. You want to know how I know that? It's because it was introduced back then. And they literally they were brazen enough to say, we don't want black people to have it. And there's been a fight since, because any advantage that these racist, evil, wicked, hate-mongering, war-mongering people that control the purse strings and the drawstrings and the laws of this country, anytime they get to put you behind the 8 ball, they will. Now, some people heard all white people, and that's not what I said. I'm just letting you know there are wicked people in this world who have it out for black people. They see us as less than, and even if they don't see us as less than, they see us as a threat. And until you realize that these people who are at the top, they wear shirts and ties. They used to wear white hoods and pointy hats. Now they wear shirts and ties and judges' robes. A lot of people say, hey, all you have to do is this, and then take it to court. Well, if you think a racist or a bigot sitting behind a desk with a gavel is going to do right by you, I'm going to have to question your logic. I'm not going to call you stupid or anything of that nature. I'm just going to have to question your logic. Now, you can also say, well, why are you going to vote those same people in play? Because if enough of us, the righteous people, as my favorite radio host will read down your favorites, the righteous people, if they step up, the other people from other cultures step up, and we can we're not looking for, well, I'm not looking for integration. I'm not looking for freedom for all. I'm looking for an even playing field. We're looking for an even playing field. If we do these things to keep the laws up off us, to protect us from these race soldiers called the Chicago police, or the police departments throughout the police and sheriff's departments throughout the United States of America, and these hate groups like the Proud Boys and the Ku Klux Klan and the skinheads, and we can put ourselves in a position to whereas in the event you come at us, we would destroy you without understanding that the law will protect us because we have the right to bear arms and protect ourselves. Then we can make things work for ourselves. Because what a lot of us fail to realize is this. There's enough of us, the gross national product and the amount of money that we spend in the black community in the United States of America, we spend more money than some small nations. Well, actually some large nations. So if we can spend that much money, we can spend that much money within our own communities. What I'm going to do is make some suggestions. I usually would talk about this one thing tomorrow, but I'm going to talk about it today. See, we can no longer wait on things. But the title of the show is Who's Fighting for You? And it's nobody. Because over 12 of the last 16 years, 12 of the last 16 years, and it's about to be 20 right now, 12 of the last 16 years, we have been put in a position to whereas we've heard what the Democrats did or did not do, what the Republicans will or will. We haven't heard a damn thing about what they will do. We just heard what they didn't do. That's like when you see these television shows and it's always two parents talking about what you did do. But guess what? The parent on the left is usually the one who hasn't been involved in the child everyday upbringing. So he points out the flaws in the one parent. Not saying this parent is great, but guess what? This parent is providing something. It's enough of providing for something. You see people like Jasmine Crockett and nobody else, Hakeem Jeffries and a few others from our community that are actually stepping up and fighting for us. That means we need to walk away from the Democratic Party and support people who have our best intentions. I don't care what your affiliation is, because you know what? About 4 months ago, you had people from the Green Party talking about what they were going to do. You had people from the Independents talking about what they were going to do. You had the Republican Party talking what they were going to do. And you had the Democratic Party talking what they were going to do. And guess what? As I said, King Jeffries, Jasmine Crockett, and a few others are the only people stepping up talking about what they're going to do. You had governors, the entire Barack Obama presidency against him. Senators against him. Where are those governors now? Where are those people that should be stepping up for the working class individual in the United States of America? They are nowhere. They are null and void. So that means when it comes time to re-elect somebody, we need to find somebody. As you see on the Monday show or the Tuesday show, you see Dr. Claude Anderson speak about how you need to buy your politicians so they can do what you want them to do. That's what we need to start thinking about. That's what we need to start organizing to do. See, they keep inundating us with foolishness, basketball trades, football coaches hiring, the Super Bowl, TV shows. Meanwhile, this dude is doing away with everything he can to ensure you have a comfortable life. What are the things that he's going to do? I don't care if you support him or not. This is not a conversation. I support this brown skin on my body. And everything he's doing, he's attacking the Latinos. You know why? You know why he's attacking the Latinos? You know why he's attacking the Haitians? You know why he's attacking the other brown people who entered this country? Because if they fool around and unite with us, he could be done away with. See, this is why I've been asking. Download the 5 Calls app. This is what you need to do. Because if we unite, we can get rid of all that foolishness. But what we'll do is allow him to attack the LBGTQ. He can attack the Environmental Protection Agency. His latest one is the Consumer Protection Agency. Why are you attacking that? You know why? Because when Wells Fargo openly attacked the Black community, guess what? They were paid. They were forced to pay. I don't know where that money went, but that's neither here nor there. When Bank of America was opening secondary accounts, and without the permission of their customers, they were on top of it and made you aware of what's going on. See, these are the things that they're getting away with, so they can rape you anytime they like. Does it sound familiar? I'm not gonna compare it to the enslavement of my ancestors, but these are metaphoric rapes. Those were actual rapes. This is metaphorical devaluing. That was actual devaluing. This is something totally different. But if you notice, you have you have 2 dudes from South Africa who are in line with this dude. The dude who used to run PayPal and help start PayPal, he's a South African. Elon Musk is a South African. Why are South Africans important? Because they are part of apartheid. And if they had a system set up for apartheid, why are they over here trying to reestablish that? Understand what you're looking at. Understand what you're looking at. All the expensive things, the opulence that we live in. What we need to do is start investing in our community, investing in farms, investing in shopping with the stores that are within our community. So again, we can make things happen. We don't need a whole lot because we've accomplished things without a whole lot. I'm going to show you this video about Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I'll be back shortly. And I want you to understand what you're watching. What you're watching is the growth and development of our community right in front of you. I'll be back shortly.
Mostly World War I veterans arrived to defend Roland, and the mob attacked. With a 26-1 advantage, the white mob burned, looted, and killed their way through one of the wealthiest Black communities of the time, leaving an estimated 300 dead. Many of the victims' bodies have still not been found. For most, this is where the story ends. Now I have to repeat that. There was 26-1 advantage by the white mob. And if you notice, there's never a situation where it's 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or 10-on-10. It always has to be a decided advantage before the white mob decides to attack. That's just history, folks. I'm just telling it like it is. Be that as it may, what isn't discussed enough is the story of how Black Wall Street rebuilt and how it can continue to build in the 21st century. The story of Greenwood's rebirth began just hours after the massacre. On June 2nd, 1921, the all-white Tulsa Real Estate Exchange attempted to take over the Black-owned business district. By June 7th, with the encouragement of the Tulsa Real Estate Exchange, the Tulsa City Council voted 4-0 to pass Fire Ordinance number 2156, effectively preventing Black Wall Street from being rebuilt. The newspaper at the time, the Tulsa Tribune, applauded the move, according to Randy Crable's book, Tulsa 1921, with the paper stating that because of the building requirements laid on the district, it is believed impossible that the Negroes will again build there. So in essence, not only was the town destroyed, but immediately there was a conspiracy by the Tulsa Real Estate Exchange and others, and which was applauded by the Tulsa Tribune, that Black people would never be able to build again in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Keep in mind, a thriving Black town, one of the most successful Black towns in world history. Phil Armstrong, a Tulsa resident and the president and CEO of the Oklahoma Center for Community and Justice, says the devastating massacre is only half the story. In fact, the city of Tulsa began rebuilding the Greenwood district almost immediately after the riots. By 1942, the zone was home to 242.
As you see, there's stories that are being told. This is why you celebrate Black history, so you can know things like that. I want you to go to www.theendofthebench.com, www.theendofthebench.com. I'm going to put it on the screen. I want you to go there, watch that video in its entirety. That is a channel called Black History in Abundance right here on YouTube. Or you can go to my website. I would prefer that you go to my website. He gets the credit. I don't get credit if you watch it on my website. Well, I get credit for the visit, and the visits are down. So I need you to go over there to www.theendofthebench.com. Just go in, man, just say hi, and then pop out. That's all you need to do. But you watch the video in its entirety so you can understand what you're up against. And then once you see what you're up against, you know how to fight it. And when you know how to fight it, you know how to win. Strategy is everything. Strategy is a plan to succeed, or you're going to plan to fail. That's it. I need you and everybody who supports me to do that. Watch that video, share it with your grandchildren, share it with your grandchildren, share it with your friends, because you were told that this district was never rebuilt, but it was rebuilt. And you assume, and as I stated, the city council, which you can become a part of, said, no, we're not going to do that. But now we have the ability to get on city councils, school councils, so we can put these things. We don't need, correction. We don't need to put these things in books in our schools, because we need to be teaching these things in our home. We need to be teaching these things to our young people every single solitary day. Again, Black history is a point in which you introduce your history, and then the March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and January are reinforcements, and then we learn something new, and then we get something new, and that's it. But back to the point at hand. We need to do everything we can to galvanize our community and use this government to protect us. Once we use the government to protect us, then we don't need anything else. Once the laws are in place, and we have people fight for those laws, we're straight. See, we need more people like Hakeem Jeffries and Jasmine Crockett. These people who are fighting for us. Again, we just need the defense. We don't need your help, because guess what? If we start introducing our young people to technology, we start introducing our people to being physicians and attorneys and things of that nature. Now we have everything we need. We already have people being farmers. We need to reintroduce the vocations to our young people, and we won't need anything else, because the monies that are used to be creative, the monies that are used to build things and create infrastructure, we already have, and it will be an influx of things in our community that is a cycle that is unbreakable. You have some communities that the dollar, meaning every time I earn a dollar, it is going into another person who looks like me pocket for the next 30 days. Our time is a half hour. A half hour. We no longer need to do that. We don't need to be concerned with any other community but our own for now, forever. I'm not saying never buy anything from anybody else, because that's called a barter system, and you interact. If this community has this, we purchase it from them and we walk away. If they come to us, we give them our goods. That's the way the world works. But we can no longer be in fear. We need to, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, what things that we can do in regards to finance. Now, as I told you, the Consumer Protection Agency is being taken over. It's an independent agency that's being taken over by one of the race soldiers that Donald Trump put in place. We don't have to worry about that for now. What we need to do is start organizing and getting ourselves in place. See, where's the Democratic Party now? The Republican Party growls and spits and acts a fool and creates lawsuits and filibusters and slows government down to a crawl. It ain't even a walk. It's a crawl. Explain to me why the Democratic Party isn't doing that. See, I'm not in allegiance with any of them. I just want to know, Black people, at what point do we start making demands? The late great Dr. Martin Luther King, the late great Baynard Rustin, the late great Malcolm X, the late great Whitney Young. You'll notice I keep saying late great. That means we need to have people in play to do what we're doing, what we need right now. The currently great HRap B, the currently great Mo, the currently great D Great, the currently great Jungle Brother, the currently great Poe. We need to be doing these things from border to border, coast to coast, to get, please forgive me, to get things in order. Because as we get things in order, we can control this chaos that's around us. And then at this point, we can create security firms to protect our community. So when those 28-1, guess what? Firearms make things even. 28-1, you can protect your family. And then you can come together, because that's what the Second Amendment was for, because they was protecting themselves from the natives because they had taken the land. So you got the right to bear arms to fight against these people who we took their land from. So if we purchase the land, we have the right to protect that land. We need to go have our own stores. We need to do everything we can. We need to remove this defeatist attitude and this capitalistic mind state, because I keep telling you, scientific socialism. If you want to be a capitalist, then okay, I have no qualms with you. I will not fight you on that. But I don't know if it's going to benefit you to be a capitalist in this society when you have billionaires pulling all the strings and billionaires throwing Hitler signs and letting you know that they're open racists and getting angry with people in South Africa because they want their land back. You done stole all this land and now they want it back, and now you're upset. Black people have fought, scratched, carved, and worked their way to where they are. And guess what? They are angry that we want to be even. We can no longer subjugate ourselves to their will. We can do that no longer. Tomorrow, when you check out the episode, I will guarantee you'll be put in a position to, I'm gonna try to put you in a position of information so we will no longer have to wait for someone else. We have the numbers, we have the stick-to-itiveness, we have to know it all. All we have to do is have the will to do it and exert the energy to do it. Before I go, I want to dedicate this episode to one of my friends. He passed away yesterday. He is the longest standing friend that I had. His name is James Barnes. People, time is of the essence. That's what I talk about every day, every time I come on here. Time is of the essence. Now, if time is of the essence and you don't believe that, understand time being of the essence. We don't have a whole lot of time. I was friends with this man. He was my brother for 50 years. And I feel like I got cheated. So if you have an issue with a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, cousin, or neighbor, if they didn't bring physical harm to you, if they didn't attack your family, if they didn't do something that was detrimental to your health or your wealth or your mental health, please forgive them and walk away from the issue. Time is of the essence. I will never see James Barnes in this physical form ever again. So if you have a minor issue with somebody, let it be a minor issue. Take it off your back. Let it flow on down the river. With that being said, I see you tomorrow. This is Brian HRap B. The end of the bench media. 2 fingers, 1 word, and y'all know, y'all will never.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why